That's three.
That's three.
That's three. Back in my day.
It was only 2 points for a takedown. Don't freestyle my
Folkstyle.
Folkstyle.
My Folkstyle.
Yeah.
Yo, what was your name again? I go, yeah, that's right, bitch. Yeah, boys. I tell you what. Definitely watched a lot more boxing since Jake Paul's rise.
Motherfucker, I'm old, but I'm just getting started. Get drunk, turn up, let a party. Oh, but I'm just getting started. Saturday, I might do a house party.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to No Genre, the podcast. It's your boy, Reese Highlight Humphrey, and I'm kicking it with the kids, CJ Young Bruck.
What is going on, guys? Pumped to be here. I feel like we've been thinking this into manifestation for a while here. There's a lot of things that we want to get into and do with this podcast. There's a lot of different conversations we want to have. Quick shout out to our sponsors, Upward Spiral Media. You know, they're making this thing possible, getting us up off the ground, so appreciate you guys. Reese, why don't you let these people know, what are we doing here? What is the No Genre podcast?
Well, yeah, thank you guys for joining us and tuning in, but we are No Genre. That means we can go whatever we are thinking about. It's off the top of the dome. It's going to be wrestling-related, combat, sports type stuff, but also whatever we think is cool in the moment.
Yeah, just a little bit serious, a little bit delirious. Anything that gets your mind a little curious, we're going to be talking about over here. It's really no direction. So
I'm curious every time you talk.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you got for us today?
Bi-curious, maybe.
What's on the docket?
Yeah, so I mean, ultimately, as Reese said, we're going to try and stick to what we know, and that's a lot of wrestling. Dang, man, wrestling season's here.
It's here. Wrestling
You
season
blink and it's right
just
back in
ended,
your
though.
face. She pulls you back in.
It just ended, though. You know what I'm saying?
This guy's a freestyle
I'm a
guy.
freestyle
Can't help
guy. We
himself.
just got back from the World Championships,
freak.
and boom, NCAA season.
It's kind of crazy how it is bang bang like that. Right after NCAAs, it's boom, right in your face. You want to wrestle freestyle? Most of them guys are like, no, but they do it anyway because a lot of them are tough. But anyway, we are here at Folkstyle season, right around the corner. There's a little bit of a difference in rule changes.
I'm excited.
Rule set per se. I'm so pumped up. My guys at TCNJ have been ready. We've been working out pretty hard. There's a lot of guys that are dedicated, have been putting the time in the offseason that are, more than ready, hitting stride early per se. But we've got some things that are going to make things interesting on the mat. From the coach's corner, I'm still finding myself say two in practice.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's
That's
tough.
three.
That's three.
That's three.
It's not easy to
I'm
get
used to it. No, I got it.
Well, of course. It takes a little bit of focus. But there are a number of rule changes here. Some of them we feel are a little bit more relevant than others, but we're gonna kind of go down the line. So the first one, obviously, 3-point takedown. That's gonna change a lot of matches. Probably would retroactively change a lot of matches that happened in the past.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely would.
I can't believe it. There's some people that are kicking themselves in the ass right now. Like, if I was in college back then.
Back in my day,
it was only 2 points for a takedown.
Our mats were uphill.
Our mats were uphill. It was snowing on the mat. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, I think it's, number one, overall, I think it's really good for the sport that we're making an effort towards change and trying to develop a more exciting event or entertainment, form of entertainment.
For the spectators?
Yeah, for the spectators, putting butts in seats, per se.
I like that.
I'm a fan of it. I liked getting after my takedowns on the feet. So being rewarded for more action is always gonna, it's always gonna motivate me.
Yeah, there are some cons to it though. Like we're all gonna go through this process together. 3-point takedown. I'm up by a lot. There's no riding time point unless you turn. That's interesting.
Oh, I don't know if that's actually been proved.
That's a real thing.
I don't think it is.
I don't know if it is.
That's really bringing credibility to our podcast here, Reese. There's a few
Either way, though, but you get ahead by a 3-point takedown, stalling's going to become a bigger factor because 3-1 is benefiting the offensive guy a lot more.
Yeah, 100%.
And so those takedowns are going to be a lot more valuable, but I'm excited for it. I think it's going to bring in a lot of situations where guys are down by 4 or 5, and then boom, 2 takedowns.
Oh, you're right back in the match. Yeah, it's 100%. And the no hand touch takedown. Also interesting. Like they want to just say like you got to establish control of the other human for it to be a 2-point takedown. I think that there were a lot of people that were ambiguous. Like, oh,
control.
His hand touched. It was like
It was clear cut though, which is why I like that.
Yeah,
but
true.
Oftentimes, as we all know, that wasn't the end of the takedown.
No, it wasn't.
People would touch hands, get the 2 back in the day.
Or they would,
back in the
it'd
day.
be like, a brush of the hand, and then the guy would cut in face real quick, and it'd be like, oh, did he really have control?
Yeah, so that'll be interesting too.
It'll definitely be interesting.
But I do like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
What I'm a
Folkstyle's about
huge fan of.
You're a huge fan.
Big near fall guy.
Big near
They're
fall guy.
rewarding a third swipe. Third swipe for the kid.
I don't like this.
Yeah. You stand a little bit differently on this one, huh? What's your reasoning here?
So it used to be 2 and 4. Those are pretty far apart.
Yeah.
Now it's 2, 3, 4. If you get a 2 count, you get 2. If you get a 3 count, you get 3. If you get a 4 count.
Yeah.
And I think coaches are going to have to hold on to their brick. You only get so many. For the duel or for the tournament, depending on how many guys you have in it at the NCAA and things like that.
100%.
But those 1 point, 1 swipe, you always see this like 1, 2, and then a half swipe here and there. It's just going to become very controversial. And did he actually swipe? Was he on his back? I don't really know how those challenges are going to go or how those calls are going to go. But I couldn't be more excited to see all these changes.
You were bringing this up earlier with the half swipe or whatever. I don't think it really makes so much of a difference between 2 and 3 versus what it was with 3 and 4. There's always going to be that questionable. You swiped. Or you have swiped, like, whatever the case is between 3 and 4 and 2 and 3. Like, there is still going to be.
It's just going to happen more often. So, yeah, if you swipe 3 times and you're looking for the 4th, you still get that. But now
2 times looking for the 3rd. Yeah, now it's every swipe you have that. So, coaches are going to have to be a little bit more conscious about that with their bricks. I would agree with you on that.
And with every rule change, it will change as the season goes.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, it just adapts.
What's that trial and error?
Yeah, and this is the beginning of it, which is going to be really exciting. But I think it will be confusing for the coaches and for the refs until everybody gets on the same page. But I like rewarding aggression. I like the takedowns.
Oh, yeah, sports in a way better place because we're rewarding offense. And, I think it's only up from here. I mean, there's certain rule changes that were brought up or had just been part of conversation in the past, like a push-out point. Or, I do think there's a little bit of ambiguity behind the stall point on the edge. There's some refs that call it a little bit more, I don't know, aggressively or consistently with your butt to the edge or a straight arm push when you're the guy controlling the center and still getting a stall call on the edge. I don't know. You want to keep you actually had a great term for this. Keep freestyle or don't freestyle my folkstyle.
Don't freestyle my folkstyle.
Yeah,
we don't need a push out. We do need the whole riding. We need all that. We need to have some importance on it, but it's almost like in high school where there's no riding time point.
Yeah.
You still need to ride.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a big part of getting somebody tired and mentally breaking somebody. The whole mental
it's still a
warfare
point.
Of holding somebody down. Yeah. It's still a point.
Still a point. You don't give up that escape, But I do agree that we need to maintain a certain level up in folkstyle to freestyle. And that big difference, because it is what makes American wrestlers have that advantage at the freestyle level. A lot of those foreigners, they dread wrestling an American just because of the constant hand fight. We're used to fighting for every point. On bottom, we're looking to get out.
And folk style is so much more like a actual fist fight.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
you don't take somebody down and then they start doing partyyy defense. I'm not defending the gut in the street.
But I might lock up a gut when I'm wrestling.
But try and gut me up.
Yeah, try and gut me a couple times. I might let it rip. Also, another rule change here. You can, with every challenge, right, they would go back to the sequence, look at whatever call was being challenged. Now, I guess you can actually change anything that you see in that sequence. So if a ref is, coach throws the brick, that was 2 points takedown, but there was some action in between or whatever. If there was some near fall that they might have missed in that sequence, they can actually call that near fall and, whatever takedown or reversal in that case.
Yeah, but what they haven't really made distinct is how far can you go back?
Yeah, I saw that. I was looking at the article and I didn't see a defined time. And this is something that you were quick to be like, well, what's the time? Because it came up in, a match that you were coaching
at the Final
recently.
X and Chance Marsteller versus Jordan Burroughs.
Yep.
JB threw the brick at the end of the match, and they went back a full 16 seconds. But
that's what it was, 16?
16 seconds,
That's too much, right?
The rules, I think it's too much.
That's a pretty long time.
The refs were almost laughing at me.
It's a pretty long time.
And making it seem like I was completely wrong. But the rules state 5 seconds for American wrestling and 15 seconds at the most. But it also says within a reasonable time.
Oh, that's too. That's too great.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Give me a time. Yeah. So it's definitely interesting. I mean, there was a lot of I don't know. There was some, I guess, scuffles at the table for some dual meets that I was involved in. That coach was like, "That's not what you're challenging." You have to make a clear.
Yeah, it used to have to be, I'm challenging this takedown for this specific reason. Now it seems like it's a little more vague because I think the coaches were were catching on to that, and they would say vague statements.
Right.
I'm challenging this sequence.
I'm
challenging the score in the last 15 seconds or whatever it was.
Yeah.
So I'm still interested to see how all this goes. But one more change is the weigh-ins.
This one's huge.
They're all 2-hour weigh-ins now.
Huge advocate for the 2-hour weigh-in. Let's just give the guys a little bit of time to recuperate. I mean, you look at putting out the best show, right? Putting out the best wrestler possible that wants to. If you have all of these rules that are promoting action, you want the best wrestler to go out there with the most energy to actually implement some of these, their technique and.
Yeah, we want to see these guys at their best form.
100%.
And 2 hours is still not a very long time.
No, it's still pretty quick.
But
if you're,
1
if
hour,
you're cutting a ton of weight.
there's no time to you drink something, you eat something, and you got to warm up.
Yeah, you'd be baby puking in the back.
Yeah, a little bit of baby puke. You drink something, eat something, puke.
Hit a couple double legs, I'm good to go. Smack me in the face, coach. Come on.
Yeah, so I do like this. Like in the UFC, they have 30-some hours.
Yeah, that's what's really cool. And the highest level of entertainment in combat sports, they're giving these people a day and a half. I mean, I've always been an advocate for wrestling at your natural weight. Just getting big, focus on getting better at wrestling, and don't make cutting weight such an objective. I understand that everybody's going to have to cut a little bit of weight. It's definitely part of it.
It's part of the sport. But, with the 2-hour weigh-in, 1 hour weigh-in, you can't cut too much because you'll just be inconsistent. You might have some really good matches where you just feel good, but Friday, Sunday weigh-ins, there's like 30 different weigh-ins throughout the season. People get broken down, and the 2-hour weigh-in's going to make it a little bit easier on our guys and just make it a much better product, I think.
So overall, I mean, I'm always pepped up for wrestling season, but this is going to be fun because there's a lot of new elements. This guy's pepped up.
He's pepped up.
Pepped up. Pepped up.
Oh, my man, Dr. Pepper.
Speaking of the highest level of entertainment in combat sports, I was watching a little bit of the banter between Dylan Dennis and Logan Paul. I was keeping up with it. It was very entertaining.
It's been interesting with Jake Paul's rise and all that in boxing. And the boxing's not top tier boxing, but entertainment. UFC is clearly geared towards entertainment, but it's the best of the best in MMA.
Yeah.
This is the best of the best in entertainment. And it's very entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are tuning into this, but
it is. I think we should go down the pros and cons of what this celebrity YouTuber boxing. My first pro is that it's bringing awareness to the sport. Boxing was, notably losing viewership, and I mean, it took a YouTuber to bring people's attention back to it. So I think that's huge. I mean, I love combat. I'm a fan of combat sports. So
I've definitely watched a lot more boxing since Jake Paul's rise and Logan Paul.
Undeniably.
Now Dylan Dennis, and the shit talking can go to a whole new level.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dylan Dennis went a little bit too far coming at the Logan Paul.
But I do think it's kind of weak that he ended up suing the guy. I mean, I know it's Nina suing him, but
I don't.
I think that he's behind.
I don't, dude. It's 100% defamation.
What?
Of her character. You can't.
Yeah, but it's the fight game, Like he's the
not
first
fighting. Leave this.
You have to be able to take
leave religion out with Conor McGregor.
He knew what he was buying in for. He knew what he was buying in for, and he was selling the fight. He was doing more to promote the fight. I think that
some sort of credibility with how you are as a person, dude. Like just I don't know, dude.
Okay.
Leave it alone a little.
I think it was weak. Another con, the con of the whole thing is it really maintaining the integrity of the fight game? I mean, is this real? Is this real life that these guys are putting on this type of show? I've always been
millions of dollars.
I've always been a little bit skeptical of the.
Yeah, but I'm also a fan of people doing what they do, and they're entertainers, and they get everybody to tune in.
Yeah.
However they're doing it, it's impressive, and the pros behind it, it's bringing a lot of views to boxing.
Yeah.
And they can put some
and like the OGs are behind it. I mean, I seen Tyson that was like, yo, say what you want, but he's brought boxing back to a place that it hasn't been in decades. Yeah, so
if we kind of swerve to Jake Paul, if you look at any professional boxer, I don't care what level you guys are, if you look at their first 6, 7, 8 fights, he's fighting better fighters than those guys do.
Oh yeah, 100%. Well, with more at least fight experience, not necessarily in boxing though.
That's true.
But
still high level guys that nobody thought he could beat.
Dude, Palacio made the greatest comment. I forget exactly what it was. I'm going to butcher this, but it was when I think Diaz showed up for his fight, and he's like, what is it with Jake Paul making these guys show up in the looking like they're in the worst shape of their entire life?
They said Ben Askren looks like a bag of milk. When somebody said that, I was like, all right.
Yeah.
We're losing some credibility here.
But he ain't wrong.
Credentials are credentials, but when you show up looking like a bag of milk.
Like a bag of milk? Looking like a bowl of oatmeal.
Yeah, so that, I mean, like, and that goes back to the Logan Paul, Dylan Dennis. It looked like he was just trying to catch a check.
Yeah.
Dylan Dennis was not ready to box.
That's one thing that sucked. I didn't watch the fight, I'm going to be honest. I watched like the highlights, and I wanted to see, I don't know, what people kind of thought of what went down. My opinion, based off of the little snapshot I got, is that he was not ready to really like back up what he was saying.
Like doing rope-a-dope, but he never doped.
He never doped.
He
Never even roped.
It's just roping himself.
This guy, he tried to cinch a little guillotine. No, that was pretty sneaky.
No, I don't like that either.
No?
Like if you're gonna sign up to do some
obstructing the
boxing,
integrity of the sport. It's not boxing, bro. It's a show, and it's I don't know.
But I think all the other ones, like the Jake Paul stuff, those guys actually really boxed. And
I don't know. I think Jake Paul's all right, kind of nice with it. I'm not gonna lie.
nice with it.
Yeah,
He's a real boxer at this point. I don't care what you say.
What is he doing next? He's doing Diaz 2. I think
Diaz
he's doing
2
Diaz
next?
2. I don't know. He
Cool.
said a couple things, but we'll see
I'm
if he
a fan,
drags.
though.
We'll see if he drags any of the big players out like Conor McGregor. I'd love to, obviously Conor's making his serious comeback in MMA. I'm a huge Conor McGregor fan, but I would kind of suffix that with early McGregor. He's got a lot of he's got to gain back a little bit of his hungry badass reputation. Based off of some of the behavior that he's been involved in recently. Like, I don't know. I feel like he's lost a couple of fans.
He's too rich now.
He's too rich.
And he
He's
hasn't
like,
won any fights.
yeah,
He's like
and
1
he's
and
like
4 in the last couple fights. And so, all right, let's swerve to Conor McGregor in the UFC. He's so big. He's clearly on steroids.
He's taking some.
He's big as a human, as an entertainer, and he's clearly big from taking steroids, I think.
He's just big.
And he's so big that the UFC was like, yeah, UFC, or USADA.
How big is he?
USADA. We don't need that.
Yeah, they were like, I'm out.
We don't need
All right, I'm going to head out.
We don't need
That's
USADA
crazy.
anymore.
He literally,
And I think the way that it's viewed from a lot of people's perspective is that they want Conor McGregor to fight so bad because he has that big of a draw that they just don't need to test everybody. Because they weren't gonna sway on that. Like, no, if we're involved, you have to test everybody.
I was curious because I had saw and read Gordon Ryan's post.
Gordon Ryan's the best BJJ guy. He's the king.
Yeah, the GOAT, as they say. And he had an interesting take on this. It was just like, if you're in entertainment and you want to put the best show out there, like,
these guys won't get as tired. They'll train for a lot longer. They won't get as hurt as often because they recover so much faster.
Their longevity in their career. I mean, they're already risking their lives every time they're out there type deal. Or just like long-term
They combat that with, well, you'll be a little more powerful. You'll take harder hits to the head. But we really just, like, seeing somebody gas halfway through, it's not that entertaining.
No, it's not. Yeah, your conditioning goes
to happen. But
down
two
a
guys
tank.
that are really knocking each other out and swinging and at their full form.
Yeah, but you can't advocate for some of the shit that's out there that'll really mess people up.
I don't really like that take.
There's some safe performance enhancing drugs if you want to put them all under the same umbrella. There's probably some safe stuff that you can take like testosterone or HGH. I don't know if HGH is that healthy or whatever, but like some sort of steroids that you would get over the internet. You don't want to like just open the floodgates for any type of performance enhancing drug.
Taking the steroids at the highest level, it would trickle down to where these high school kids.
Right now, it becomes normalizing that.
Out.
Yeah,
out.
Negative effect on sports.
Yeah, don't like that.
No. But I do. It made me go, huh? You know, it made me go, huh? Maybe it's just the joke. It's just a joke of the day. Oh my god! So this is a segment that we're going into here.
You got a joke?
We both put about 15 seconds into preparation on this segment here. Okay.
Come on, give me the joke of the day.
And this is where we talk about the joke of the day. All right, you ready for this one?
I can't wait.
This one made me chuckle. It's
Let me sip this.
Okay.
Tell the joke.
All right, my joke is, what do you call a two-legged cow?
I don't know. What do you call a two-legged cow?
Lean beef. Come on.
I thank you.
Lean beef.
Lean beef. What if he's lean with it, rock with it. Okay.
Yeah.
What if he just takes he's just got the two front.
Well, he's still kind of leaning on a downward slope, right?
Is that a lean? I feel like you're only leaning if you take the one from the left and one from the back.
It's fall beef. ground beef.
Slant beef.
Ground beef. Bangers. All right, what do you got, buddy? What's your joke of the day?
I don't have one. I got a flex of the day, though.
What's a flex of the day?
The flex of the day. This is a brand new segment. We're coming at you.
Bear with us, guys.
So I've been flexing on everybody with this new thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a brand new thing.
Okay.
I can remember anybody's name.
This This is brand new never been done before since the dawn of time.
It's actually a very hard thing to do. Apparently.
This is actually like super difficult for me. I'm terrible with names.
It's
I'm
super
not gonna
difficult
lie.
for everybody, but it's so easy to focus on. I've been focusing on it for like a month, and I can just remember people's names and the way that why it's a flex.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the conversation, I go, "All right, see you, Brian," and they go, "Oh." And they go, "What was your name again?" I go, "Yeah, that's right, bitch."
Yeah, that's right. Mic drop.
And we went to that
Mic drop,
we went
Mike.
to that event the other day at the Meeting House, which is a restaurant in Princeton. And when I was leaving, I've been flexing on everybody.
Yeah. Shout out Marshall Keller.
Yeah, and we're all just talking, and everybody's so worried about the cool shit that they're gonna say next.
Right.
I'm gonna say cool shit.
That's what I think it is for me. I'm already trying to think of like, what do I need to talk about with this person? If it's, business related or just.
But that will flow. That will flow. And
Yeah.
the importance of remembering somebody's name, it's a game changer.
Yeah.
And so as I was leaving the event, I go, "All right, Anna, see you later." "Oh, bartender, Henry. How you
Hey,
doing, man?"
Jeremy.
"All right,
Hey.
bro, see you later."
See you, Mike.
And I could see they all have no clue what my name is. And then
They're
the
like,
owner of the bar came up.
"This is weirdo."
He goes, "All right, see you, man." And he knew I was important to Marshall, who was
Yeah.
the bartender there who invited us. And I go, "All right, Amar, see you, brother." And then I was like so proud of myself walking up the stairs, and I saw one more dude, and I was like, "See you, Jeremy."
Just to leave him with one more little
I
tidbit.
literally Deion Sanders high stepped out of there like, "Yeah, boys, I tell you what."
Yeah, it is it's a difficult thing to do. Maybe I should focus on that.
That's a good focus, CJ Brucky.
That's a pretty good segue.
That's a good
young
segue.
Brock.
Focus, man.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
What do you want to tell him about focus?
Life is about focus.
Life's about focus. This
is,
one blew my mind.
We
So
need we need a name for this, though.
Reese used to be my coach. He was my Mr. Miyagi.
I'm
per
still
se.
coaching you.
You're still coaching me.
Mm-hmm.
Life coach, he said. But basically, when he hit me with this, it kind of it did blow my mind. Like, life is about focus. When, think about when in any endeavor, and you just get focused for about,
You know where it started?
what's that?
Drinking games.
For you, that's where it started, drinking games,
That's where I brought
realizing
it
what
up.
focus was the difference.
This is where I brought it up to you.
Yeah.
We were hanging out with Pat Downey, who was an athlete of ours, who's a world team member. And we were playing cornhole, we were playing beer pong, and when you start to drink, you get way less focused.
Yeah, I don't care anymore. I want to listen to music.
But if you want to win at those games, which it clearly doesn't matter, but the shit talking that goes with it, it becomes pretty important to win.
Yeah, you get tallies,
You have
mental
to stay
tallies.
focused. And one of my best skills as a drinking game player is unfocusing
Partaker.
people. And so if you stay focused and you can block all those things out, you can do it in every aspect of life. And it started as a drinking game, but I started using it everywhere. If you really want something, focus. Focus. Pay attention to the little things. Pay attention to somebody's name. Pay attention to a really good joke that yours wasn't.
Yeah. It's at the micro level and the macro level.
You'll do so much better job at whatever you're doing. Just stay focused.
Yeah. It's harder than it sounds,
But it's also very simple.
and it's the key.
It's the key to life.
Yeah, it is.
Life.
No, it's true.
all about focus, man. If you really want something, focus a little bit, and then the work will come and the creativity will flow. But if you focus on it, you pay a lot of attention to it, it's a cool thing.
I'm a big fan of that. That one changed my perspective a little bit. It definitely did.
And so I tell my kids, Parker and Reese, I tell them, if you think something's cool, put a lot of time into it. So that for me, that was dancing, so I could be cool at parties or
Pull chicks.
pull chick, of course. That's what it all comes down to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you think something's cool, put a lot of time into it. Music, we started putting a ton of time into, and you just reach your potential, whatever that is. It's always a good thing to just put some real time into the things that you think are cool, and then everything else just falls into place.
And people do kind of feel when it's a genuine effort. I mean, if you're trying to do something that isn't necessarily you, or trying to be someone that you're necessarily not, you kind of emit that energy on people. It's like, I don't know, it's what we preach in OGWC, be an exaggerated version of yourself. If you're funny,
Touch
be
on that.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're good at technique, be good at technique, but just be an exaggerated version of yourself and allow people to feed off of some of that energy. If you're not bringing it at a high level, there's no way that people can.
You ever see the video of the
energy.
teacher? He's exhausted. He's walking through the halls, and it's just he has no clue there's a camera on him. It's just the school cameras. He's exhausted. He looks like he's sick or something, and then he takes a deep breath, shakes it off, puts his big smile on, and he opens the door.
Wow.
To teach at his capacity. I'm like, we do that so often going into adult wrestling because we've done 2 or 3 practices already with the guys, with ourselves, worked all day, and the classes are late at night, and then we go, we got to do this the right way if we're going to do it. And so
Yeah.
you got to bring the energy, and
It's easier when you love what you do. I love being in that room. I do. It's just it's another avenue for wrestling. I love coaching. I love just the vibe that's in there. But you're right. Sometimes it's hard, even with the things that you love, because there are some practices. Don't get me wrong. I mean, we have practices that there's a lot of people that show up. They're ready to learn, and they share that same love for the sport. But there's also practices where it's 10 to 12 people who have no idea anything about wrestling. The first thing, like a penetration step, we're teaching. So you have to kind of build on some of the basics that you're not as excited about showing up, and you can't have as much enthusiasm about it. It's like
not
the basics.
It's not a wrestling camp. We're just trying to teach people wrestling at the basic level while throwing in world-class details to teach to the whole room. It's really cool. And just to continue to touch on adult wrestling, being around like-minded people is such an important thing. Having a date on the calendar and just being around people that want to better themselves. That's why I get so excited about those rooms, because they want to help their kids. They want to help their club. They just want to get in shape. There's so many different ways that people are trying to better themselves. It's just such an awesome thing to be a part of. And so that's why we're trying to grow that so much.
I couldn't tell you the amount of reasons why I'm excited about bringing a bigger spotlight on the sport of wrestling. A lot of value that it brings to individuals, to the world, and as a whole. I think that it's the right time to push for it too.
There's nothing out there.
Yeah, it's untapped market.
Very, very few adult wrestling classes all around, and people told us you can't do it because everybody gets hurt. But we changed the stigma of headbutting and way too aggressive.
Dance
to dance into a martial art that wrestling is. You can break wrestling down to being a martial art and a form of technique, and you can really focus on the self-defense, and you can really break it down. And I really think that this market, there's nothing, and we can really grow the sport in the fastest way. And we're going at it, man. We've been doing it for 2 years in New Jersey and PA, and we're working really hard every day to try and make this thing nationwide. So
going at it, not
very
going
excited
anywhere.
about that.
Yeah, 100%.
What else are you excited about?
Oh, music. Always excited about music. We always got something going.
Okay, so all right, we're gonna freestyle a little bit for you.
All right, let's see what we got. This
isn't really a freestyle.
I think we made this like a couple days ago.
I don't even know how.
Yeah,
it
this
goes.
kind of came in the kitchen. I don't even know what we're
This is
doing.
a song called Elevator Music.
You know.
Here we go.
Oh my God.
Hey, hold that door for me.
Hey, you guys got room for one more?
Yeah, can you press 3 for me?
Yeah, get 3 for me. I'm gonna go up.
All right.
I'll take the next one. Psych.
We make elevator music. We make lit elevator music. We make lit elevator music. We make lit elevator music. We make elevator music.
We make lit elevator music. We make elevator music. We make vibes. Come dance with me. Yeah. I'ma dance with you. Yeah. Come dance with me. Hey. And I'ma dance with you.
Up, down, get off. Up, down, hey. Up, down, get off. Up, down.
I said, press 2 for you. Press 3 for me. Press 4 for more. Press 5 for vibe. Go and vibe with me now.
Dance with me.
You can dance with me.
We make lit elevator music.
We make lit elevator music.
We make elevator music. We make lit elevator
music. We make elevator music.
Okay.
We make lit
elevator
elevator
music.
We make elevator music. We make vibes. Vibes.
Can you hold that for me?
Hey, hold that door. Vibes.
Vibe with me.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me.
Who's touching me?
Come here, stop. Look at the ground.
Don't make a sound, he said. Vibe with me.
We make elevator music. We make lit elevator music. We make elevator music. We make lit elevator music. We make elevator music. We make lit elevator music. We make elevator music. We make.
Hold the door. Hold that door.
Please. I
that
gotta
door
get
for
out
me.
here, guys. I can't just vibe with you.
What
all
level's
day.
the pool on?
Oh,
I need a weight room.
you guys have a fitness center?
Hey, my card's not working.
You can vibe with me.
And I'm a vibe. Elevator music.
All right. So
All right, cool. That's pretty good.
As bad as that was,
As bad as that was.
we got anything that's done? We got to get out of here.
Yeah, we gotta get out of here. Hey, so Speaking of curveballs, man, this is what the No Genre podcast is. We're gonna try and throw
I told you it was off the top of the dome.
It's off the top of the dome. It's off the wall, really.
This is crazy,
It's
man.
even though it's on the wall.
It's off the wall sometimes when we unscrew that thing.
Yeah. So, listen, we're gonna be doing a lot more of this. What we kind of see this being, we're gonna have some guests on. We got a few people that are coming in this weekend. This is episode 1. We're going to have guests. I don't know if we're going to release them in order or just drop them here and there. What we kind of see is you guys throwing questions in, like topics for us to talk about. It's really just going to be the 30-minute conversation that we'd have on a daily basis anyway. And sometimes music creeps itself in there. Sometimes the pop culture creeps itself in there.
Join the conversation with us.
The inspiration, motivation.
I'm curious.
Deliriation. I'm curious. This guy's so curious. Comes full circle. But hey, man, you guys tune in. If you like what you see, comment. Let us know how it's going. Let us know what you want us to talk about. You want to plug the social media platforms?
Yep. So music for one.
Yeah.
We got music coming out, but if you want to check out the music that we've done, hit up No Genre or Highlight Humphrey or Young Bruck on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, any of your streaming services. And if you want to follow the Instagram page, it's No Genre. This is awkward. No Genre, _. Is that what
Double underscore.
Something like that.
Hyphen. Asterisk.
You can definitely find it. We tag it on all of our posts at Highlight Humphrey and Young Bruck.
What is it? What's the prime thing? I ain't hard to find.
I ain't hard to
I
find.
ain't hard to find out here.
All these darn kids.
All these darn. I love how I said darn.
Darn.
Yeah.
Okay, so and if you do want to support this podcast, you can follow it and subscribe at youtube.com/Highlight Humphrey. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're out.
Love y'all. Peace.
What up? This is No Genre.